keep my book open, write the exam? Can I ask my wife next to me explain the subject? Can I keep Shriram joining the call and explain the questions? These all will not work. If it works, people who completed PMP before you will become dumb, right? There are people struggled hard to clear the exam. And if you keep the book open, write the exam, then everybody look at it top to down. What's happening there? Right? So they have their own credibility, the way of conducting exams. First of all, you will not be able to look here and there when the exam is happening. You just focus on each question one at a time. That itself consumes you 4 hours. In meantime, you won't find time to see your flashcard, messages, book, or listen to your friend. You can't answer that way. You have to be focused. Then only you can attend for 200 questions, right? That's a message. Okay, let me quickly see some of the messages there. I'm going to show a video about how it works. Before that, let me see if I miss some message. Shami is putting a message. Okay, let me expand it a little more. Now exam will be at a PMI center or digital. Okay, yeah, Samit, I think that's what we spoke about it now. Divya says, I have booked my exam May 22nd from April 14th. It is difficult to concentrate. Yes, Divya, I agree. I planned for, Ajay says, I planned for 7th April, but moved to April end. Okay. Ajay, be prepared. End also is doubtful now, the way it's going. Ravindran, I have booked exam 11th April, but still did not receive any cancellation email. Okay, they will do it later. Divya says, is online exam means open book exam. Oh, okay, I think that's what I spoke about now. You can open the book, but in a different room, you have to keep the open the book. And in this room, you should have only laptop, right? First, I'll show a video now how it works. In fact, they want you to show the camera all over the room, who all inside the room, and what is in front of you. No paper, nothing is allowed. Everything is thrown out. And I think that's what I explained now. When the exam is going, you won't find time to open the book. So you can't do that. It's not a theoretical economics exam, or it's not something on some exam. It's a management exam. Every question you need to focus. You cannot go and come back. You will lose a track. Okay, that's for Divya. Then I'll come back to Shami. There may be issue of internet connectivity. Yes, Shami, that is our thing. We have to fix it. If you don't have good internet, don't book the exam. Shami Banerjee, will the exam become more difficult if it turns online? Why so? If your mouse is not good, your exam will be difficult. Question paper will be same. There won't be any change in question, Shami. It's the same, right? Instead of writing in the center, you're going to write in the laptop. That's it. Okay, Ramesh says my exam is on May 22nd. Good, Ramesh. Well, good, good. Okay, first of all, I'll show a video now. It shows about you have to download an application, and you will check the proper internet connectivity and power supply. If everything is good, then you go for it. These days we work in laptop more than the desktop, so always you have a battery backup, so no issues on that. Internet is a question mark. Some people, what they do is they have a Wi-Fi dongle. Some people go for the proper Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi goes by internet connected to your inverter. If a power goes off, it will have a flicker of time. In the flicker of time, it will cut and again come back. That's how the internet is. Even for me, that's the same process. To overcome that, there is some dongle in the market. I know you are not a kid, you know all the stuff. You have to do prepared, right? I don't want to educate those information. You know what to do. Okay, Pradeep Bharatwaj is asking, sir, I just started preparing for the exam. I have Pimbox 6 and some video. Kindly help me with the study material. Thank you, sir. That's great, Bharatwaj. Probably you have to go through the course fully. I believe you are going through the course. If not, you have to go through the course. Only the material and video will help up to certain level, but go to the proper course for the exam, right? Shami is asking, exam at PMI center. Practice will start in few months. Exam at PMI center. Practice will start in few months. Shami, I don't understand your question. Please elaborate it. So meantime, what I do is I'll take to a video how an exam happens. I mean, the online exam at home. So what I did is I pulled up a video of a CAPM exam, how it happens, which was explained by PMI. So the benefit of others, we'll quickly see that before you go to the classes. What I have to do is I have to share my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I'm going to pull up the subject. Okay. Okay, just confirm if you're able to see the video and get the audio. Just give me yes, couple of them. If you give yes, it's fine for me. I am not seeing a message. Okay, great there. What we do is, I believe it's a 2 minutes video. Yeah, it's a 4 minutes video. There's a video published by PMI Institute on how a CAPM exam happens at internet at your facility. I mean, at your home or at your office. Now, listen to this video as if you're doing the PMP exam, right? Just observe the protocol. That's what important. What they do, that's important, right? If you observe it, it'll be useful for you. Let's see that. It'll give some explanation for us. Okay.
Thank you for your interest in the CAPM exam. This video will walk you through the online proctored test experience and requirements to ensure this type of exam is the best fit for you. Before you schedule or pay for your exam, please make sure to review the system requirements and testing protocols. You can find these on the PMI CAPM certification page at pmi.org/CAPM-OP. Here's a quick overview of the process. First, download the PV Proctor file. Then you'll be asked to test your microphone and webcam, take a photo of yourself, and present a government-issued photo ID. After testing your internet connection, a single-question exam simulation will confirm that your computer is ready for the exam. You will repeat some of these steps just before taking the actual exam to ensure that your system is working correctly. A few important things to remember before you schedule your exam. This is an online proctored exam. You will be closely monitored via your webcam and microphone throughout the testing process. Once you begin testing, you will not be allowed to leave the room or move out of the proctor's view. If this occurs or you're interrupted, your exam may be canceled. Be sure your room is well lit, not only for you, but for the proctor as well. Pay special attention to the hour before sundown, as you will not be able to get up to turn on a light. And on exam day, make sure the room you're in is distraction-free. Let's get started. Scheduling an online exam is similar to scheduling other exams with PMI. Log into pmi.org, go to My PMI, and click Schedule Your Exam. Review and accept the online proctored policies, then select your preferred date and time to complete the scheduling process. On the day of your exam, log into pmi.org to start. The Begin Exam button will be activated 30 minutes before your exam is scheduled to launch and for 15 minutes following the exam start time. So if you schedule your exam at 2 o'clock, the Begin Exam button will be active only from 1:30 until 2:15. The check-in and launch process takes about 15 minutes. If you haven't already done so, you will be asked to download the same file as in the system test procedure and follow many of the same steps. You will be placed in a queue and connected to a live greeter who will verify that your computer's video and audio are working properly. The greeter will then check your photo ID to make sure it matches the individual registered for the exam. The greeter will also ask you to stand, and with your laptop or webcam, scan your entire testing room and will let you know if items on the walls, tables, shelves, or workspace need to be removed. You will then be transferred to the proctor, who will continuously monitor you throughout the exam session. If you need assistance at any time during the exam, click on the phone icon at the top of the page to contact the proctor. Note that the proctor can only help you with test-taking issues and cannot answer, discuss, or explain exam questions. At the end of your exam, your result will appear on screen, and you can always return to My PMI to review your results. Thanks again for your interest in taking the CAPM exam. For complete details, visit pmi.org/CAPM-OP.
Hope that helps. Did you saw her so enjoying, right? Seeing the results. I know it's not her result, but she's very happy. Okay, good there. I think you got some clarity how it works, right? You have to go with your internet connection. There is a one person, the invigilator, who's going to keep watching you what you do. Okay, Shami is asking, we are allowed to take break during the online exam? I don't think so. By the way, for anybody asking a lot of questions about this exam, I'm not publishing the rules. PMI is going to publish the rule in next 2 weeks. Wait for PMP rules, because what you see here is CAP exam, which is 3 hours, and again ACP exam again 3 hours, whereas PMP exam is 4 hours. So we have to wait for the rule book to be published. I'm sure they're preparing for the rule, so let's wait, right? So what you saw is a glimpse, an idea how things are going to be, right? That's a message here. Okay, Shami, hope that answers you. Shami Kapoor is asking, exam at the PMI center will continue once corona issue is resolved. Yes, Shami, that's the belief from all of us. Let's wait. I'm also like you. Akshat is asking, we will get the same session on YouTube. I'm not sure. You're talking about the session, what we're talking now, or about the video which I shared you? Okay, that's the clarity. But again, I'll tell you, the people who are planning for the exams, don't stop your preparation. Keep going on, right? Keep working out. And because as they open by April 2nd week, it's going to be online. It's going to be straightforward, like what I said. And I know you don't have a dongle with you. You may have only Wi-Fi. You have to plan a best time for yourself. Most of the time I see late in the night, early in the morning, internet is really good. Maybe the morning 4 to 8 or 3 to some time, it looks good, right? So plan the time, you do it. But again, I want to see the rule book, what they're going to say, because it's 4 hours. What's a break? If internet goes off, what will happen? Power goes off, what will happen? If my system crashes, what will happen, right? So a lot of doubts on that. So let's see, if a camera crashes, system is working, camera is not working, the microphone is not working. So like you, I do have 125 questions. So let's wait for the rule book to come. What you saw is an idea. This is how it will work, right? Okay. Yeah, Akshat, it will be available on YouTube also. It's live in YouTube now. You can lively see from the YouTube program. Good there. I hope this gave some clarity for the people. Any other questions on the exam, or I can go to subject. Okay, let me take you to the subject. So today we're going to talk something on integration management. Here we go. Okay, for the people who are already preparing for the exam, who are very close to the exam, for them it's going to be a repetition. For example, the content what I'm going to talk, it may have a high level of information. I will not be able to go line by line with you now. That's not going to happen, but at least give an idea of what integration management all about, which is one of the topic in PMP books. That is one of the vital topic in PMP books, which covers a whole segment of management, right? And again, at the same time, somebody very new to the management, somebody just starting a PMP course, listen to this program and get an idea what is management all about. Later, you can enroll for the trainings or listen to the programs for going forward. That will help you to gain knowledge. So we're going to satisfy both the set of people who are going for the exam, who are just starting a course, right? In middle, there are some people, whether I can go for PMP, I will do it now, I'll do later, before Corona, after Corona. There are a lot of people, they will be always asking questions. For them also, observe the topic and get an idea and get a grip of it. The idea of doing this program is to give you some grip of the subject. That's a main aim, right? Okay, just a quick walk. I know the project integration management is one of the key area in PMP books. As people would have witnessed it, or you would have seen your PMBOK book, right, where we know this. For the people who don't know what is PMBOK or what it is, kindly visit the PMI website to understand what it is, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what it is. Right, in PMP, we have a bunch of knowledge areas. I'm just putting certain concepts here. In that, one of that is integration management. Under integration management, we have around 9 knowledge areas to be covered, which is going to be of a scope, which will be of a schedule, the time of the project, the cost, which we call as a triple constraint. Then we have 3 more constraints, which are called as a resource, risk, and what is the other one? Quality, right? 3. Totally, we have 6 constraints there. Apart from 6 constraints, we have 3 more items which are going to talk about communication, then we have procurement, then we have stakeholders. So totally 9 items fall under integration management, right? We have to integrate all these concepts so that a project becomes successful. What is a project? I'm going to explain it later. I'm going to talk some exam questions. So wait to listen and I'll answer the questions. Some of the questions you have seen already, but let's give a try how it works, right? Next 1 hour, at least I have 1 hour, 5 minutes. I have few set of slides which talks about each part of integration management at the highest level. And then I'm going to explain some concepts and I'm going to talk about some questions, right? That's why it is. Then we'll open the board for you where you can ask some more questions and we can have a mutual discussion. I know some of you here who read the book 2 times, 3 times. You know in which page you had a sambar, in which page you had rasam, all will be there. You know everything in the book. Those people will invite you to talk some subject here, right? We will have a discussion mutually. That's good. Let me take to the next page to give a little highlight. First, let's understand the project, what it is, as we learn the subject. Okay, first of all, what is a project? Project is something very broad statement, but at the same time, it is going to talk few items which you see here. When you see the items here, a project which is a temporary, which is unique in nature, which can have a budget, which will talk about stakeholders. Yeah, a lot of ingredients makes a project. Every project will begin, every project will have a middle timeline, that's the execution timeline, and you have to close the project. And specifically, if you look at the image here, it could be a construction project, it could be an infrastructure project, yeah, it could be. And this may be an IT related project or medical related project, we don't know what kind of project it is. So projects are of different form, different dimension, different size, different budget timeline, all are different varieties. But again, a project is very unique. What you do is a unique project. Now, for example, for COVID-19, there is a project running to get a medicine. Somebody telling that it'll take 1.5 years to find a medicine. Somebody says that at least a precautionary medicine we can launch now. There is no specific timeline they can give now because it's very adaptive and part of predictive nature, right? They take predictive of how this virus was being handled years back. Many people are showing in the books, it was spoken 20 years back, 100 years back. This virus is there for so many decades. This virus is not a new virus. It's there for so many years. So definitely all the book will have the detail. So it's all predictive nature, certain things available in the books. And out of that, something adaptive. When it goes to each region, its intensity changing. If you go to cold weather, it's different. If you go to warm weather, it's different. People who took much of spice food, it's different. The people who take a lot of chocolates, it's different. It's going to be adaptive nature. So its parameters keep on changing. So those are scope and product changes. On top of that, budget is there, timeline is there, urgency is there, a lot of factors are there. So the project is going to be predictive, adaptive. Whatever it is, a project is unique and temporary, right? That's how it is. To do this effectively, you have to put everything together. Now, question is why we should put everything together? Because there are a lot of moving components in a project. If you allow it to move on its own timeline, you won't get the deliverable coming out. Someone has to put everything together and make it happen. And that is going to be called integration management. Right, let me take some more information to you. Here is it. Now, what a project manager going to do in this project? Okay, do you see some of the smiling faces here, right? On the leftmost. Okay, on the appraisal day, I know your manager looked like this, right? Give a good feel. And do you see the center? There are some guys, so much boiling there. Maybe they're a football coach. They're also a project manager, right? On a day. Executing one game is a project. Make the team, get ready, win the match, come on, it's a project. You can see them boiling. On the rightmost, I know sometime you would have been like this with your manager, isn't it? Maybe you were a manager and somebody was like that with you. But anyway, let's not happen that way. I just put a picture for the fun purpose, but that's not the manager role. But point is what a manager do. If you look the bottom line, you will see certain tasks. What does a project manager do? Plan the project. Okay, it's easy to say. Is it easy to plan? No, a lot of moving factors are there, but still you have to plan. The plan can be of a predictive or adaptive nature. What is predictive? What is adaptive? When it is predictive, I can plan at least 80% of the project in advance, sometimes even 100%. It's too very rare. There is something called adaptive nature where you plan only 20 to 30% of the work. The rest you will know only when you start moving closer to that. That's called progressive elaboration, right? For example, now let's say Olympics 2020. It's a very predictive nature. They planned it very well ahead of time. Japan is so prepared for Olympics. Now what happened? They put a halt. Hold on. Now the project will not be executed. Move it to 2021 season. Now it become more adaptive nature. A lot more factors are going to come in. A lot more things going to change, right? So a lot of factors in between that, and a predictive can turn into adaptive nature. We don't know what it is. But again, planning is very vital. Then you manage the team. The team can be of your resources or contractors. You have a set of team, including the SME, core engineers, experts, all to be managed. And engage with the stakeholders. Now somebody will ask me, Shriram, what is this, man? One side you're saying team, one side you're saying stakeholder, both are different. No, stakeholder is a superset and team can be a subset in that. What it mean? In a project, you will have hundreds and hundreds of people involved. There is a difference between somebody's involving, somebody's working for the project, right? A sponsor is involved, whereas your core resource is working on the project. The team is a core resource who works, whereas the stakeholders are the big picture of all the people and organization who work or who contribute for the project, right? That's it is. Coordinate work, yes, that's a very important part which we do, and maintain the momentum. This is easy to say, hard to do. Maintaining the momentum. I know the India government has a lockdown for 4 days. I don't know how many of you maintaining the momentum of keeping quiet, right? It's so hard, and people are putting a lot of comments in the WhatsApp and Facebook. It's something which is unusual for them, right? A project, it's going to run for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or 2 year, but still you should be consistent in the way what we do. You cannot spike once, do everything amazingly great, next time going down. It should be a consistent way. How you do it, that's why we watch audit. That's the role of the managers. By the way, that's the role of the managers. Is it good to understand the manager and project? Can I move to the next stage? If so, just give me S, I'll move to the next stage. That's great, good there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to show a video clip of a project. And this project, or at least talk about the project, how a project is being done. At least I took one construction related management, how it happens. Generally, I give more respect to construction related projects because it's so massive in size, a lot of components, no mistake can be recovered easily, like what we do in other industry. Or some industry also have to, like a medical, if you go, medical projects are so complicated. A surgery is going on. In the 5 hours of surgery, 5 hours of surgery, it should be done perfectly right. You cannot tell that, okay, I missed something, let me do version 2 surgery next week. Version 3 surgery, 4th week. No, you cannot. Done is done. Over. If patient is there, there. If not, gone. Construction 2 has a lot of components, so much complicated. I want to bring up some video to make you to understand how a project is being looked by experts in the market, right? Let's go to the video and then I'll come back to the integration, because the next slide I'm going to talk about integration part. Before that, I want to put you to that place. Let's go. Where is it? Construction. Great.
Oh, I love my job.
Okay. Someone tell me you can see a person and her voice is audible. That's great. Thank you. Let's watch her what she talk about management. Perfect. Let's listen.
Oh, I love my job. Construction management as a whole is just managing the overall process of it, from project development, where the owner's deciding what they want to build, and then we're there through the duration of construction. It's unique in that we deal with the design team, which is composed of architects and engineers, and then we also deal with the subcontractors.
It's kind of an orchestra that we kind of try to conduct to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page.
The key responsibilities that we have as construction managers are making sure the project's delivered on time and on budget. In the company, we tend to differentiate into either project engineers or project superintendents. Project engineers basically work on the paperwork side of the business.
I'm tracking everything for the owner on paper. So if they didn't have me, then we wouldn't be able to track the proper materials or that the architect has specified are on site. Any of the questions that the contractors have, I make sure that the architect's answering them.
The superintendent side, they're the ones that are actually out in the field, coordinating with the field staff.
Contractors come out here and they're getting ready to put it in, and if they're confused, it's our job to make sure that any questions that they have are clarified.
The architect communicates to us what he wants. We communicate that to the subcontractor, and then any questions in between, we're solving those problems or going back to the design team saying, hey, that can't work. I enjoyed math and science, and I loved building things, just having a hands-on type of approach. And construction management was the thing that kind of tied all those together.
Nothing stays the same. It's always moving, very dynamic.
I remember when I was little, I used to stare at houses and say, how is that built? And just the unique ways that buildings are built.
Well, the construction industry as a whole is driven through STEM. Science, we're dealing with physics, the way different loads work with gravity. Technology, the industry is really getting technology-driven, utilizing 3D modeling software. Engineering-wise, we use it on a daily basis. Math, we use measurements all the time, calculating square footage, yardage, volume, area. For life in general, I think any type of STEM curriculum or STEM course is beneficial for your life.
I went to the University of Cincinnati. I started out in architectural engineering and decided that I liked more of the building and management side versus the design side.
Through school, you learn the general trades, different mechanical systems, electrical, plumbing. You just have a general knowledge, not diving into the specifics too much.
Through co-ops and my opportunities to work with Turner Construction Company, I was able to get hired full-time because of the learning experiences that I gained working for Turner. And a co-op is actually a learning opportunity. Instead of a classroom, you actually go to the job sites, you go to work on a daily basis, and they pay you.
So I started working and co-oping in construction companies and ended up with Turner.
Construction kind of has that connotation of dirty, hands-on labor work. But it's a business.
I came to work for Turner straight out of school as a field engineer. I actually worked on a job site day to day with the trade contractors, coordinating the work that went in place. I also had roles as what I would call project engineer, doing all the paperwork. From there, I moved on to leadership roles on large projects. I was the project manager of a $100 million hospital expansion.
A typical project would last between 18 to 24 months, which offers you a quick turnaround time, if you think about it, of a project. So you're seeing, in the life of your career, a bunch of different projects that you've been involved in. When I started at Turner, I was a field engineer, which means you're just out assisting the superintendent, primarily focused on maybe one or two trades, maybe watching the concrete guy. Currently, I'm in a cost engineer role where I oversee a portfolio of projects and just focus on the financial or cost aspect of it to make sure every dollar is accounted for. You can see a piece of dirt come into this huge, magnificent, tall structure that'll be there for years to come. You can take family and friends to see it.
Literally, if you miss a day of work, you missed a lot of work that's been put up.
Our day is spent primarily problem solving.
And that's the fun of our business, is once you get everybody kind of doing the same thing and working on to the right goal and getting that piece in place, there's the real reward in what we do.
It's ever-changing. There's something always evolving, new ways of doing things, new types of materials to work with. It pays well.
We're managing the conversations between the architect, the engineer, and the person who's actually putting it in.
I mean, we're building buildings. I think that's a pretty neat thing to do. It's a huge art project if you were to think of it that way.
I'm extremely important.
I love my job. It's awesome.
Okay, hope that was a good video. I'm sure no architect will mess up with that guy. You saw that guy, right? He looks so strong, right? You go and tell him that that design is wrong, like he'll get a punch. Okay, coming back. What was the takeaway from this video? What are things you saw? When I say construction project, did you saw only the pillars, cements, and metal, or any other department working in this project? Did anybody observe something there? What are the departments you observed when they spoke about the project there? Let's see your observation skills. You can speak up in the mic if you want. No restriction here to type. Okay, Tejas says design, collaboration with the architects and contractors. Rohil says, sounds good. Design team. Then what? Dinesh is design team. Anything more? Did we have something called 3D modeling? You have a software designing team who does the modeling there. Design team, architect team, material supply. Yep, lot more, right? Engineering, field, and this guy, a gentleman with the blazers, was talking about I'm doing connecting the suppliers and contractors. He's playing the contracting role, right? The procurement role, being the bridge between the teams. He was doing that. There's a great role there, right? If you feel that, hey, I'm from software industry, we are the blue collar job, white collar job. The software is being used there, right? It's part of that particular designing technology, all being used. So she was talking about STEM education, right? She's talking about mathematics, science, everything's there, right? Rather than a project management, bunch of project contributing to larger project. That's good. Viber made it very clear. But again, that's a project actually, right? If you go portfolio, one portfolio will be doing this kind of lot of projects. Maybe she's doing only the hospital expansion or school building construction. Another portfolio will talk about we're expanding the commercial complexes, right? That's a portfolio goes. Okay, 1+ saying that coordinating an interface check, sub-project, that's great, a lot of stuff here. Why specifically this project is there are a lot of moving components. If you watch out that guy who with the gray or brown t-shirt, he was talking about, these days things are changing dynamically. That's a right point. You cannot think that it's construction, so it will be very solid. No, things are changing. People want new innovation, new thought process, which best technology can be used. So components keep moving. How do you manage with that, with this kind of planning? Sometimes I feel some of my friends who work from software industry, they sometimes tell that, oh man, it's a very tough job. I'm also coming from software. I'll tell that, guys, go and see the real project in the world. You will be amazed the way they do things. It's so complicated, so big, right? At least you have a version 2. They don't have version 2, only version 1, right? So, but again, it's each other complementing, right? Now, if you take IT plays a backbone of many projects. For example, the 3D modeling, the designing, what this lady was showing you, that's very vital. If the 3D modeling and design doesn't happen, you will not get the picture of the project, how it's going to be. Rather, you have to do the miniature. Those days have gone now. We do only 3D modeling. That's little about the stuff. Let me get to the next area. Hope that helped the video. Let me go to the next page. Okay, let's catch up some stuff here. Okay, integration management. Now, when I say integration, I want to explain to you that it's going to touch all the corners of the project. What do you mean by all the corners? It starts from the need from the society. It could be the complete big project for the company, or it could be a social need. Now, the innovation of medicine for COVID-19, it's a social need. It's not a project by one company, right? And now somebody's asking me, where is this agile world? You guys can do everything in weeks. Where are you? They're asking, no, it's not that way. We should not compare everything everywhere. But again, each one has its own plus and minus. We have to watch out that factors. So now it comes the needs. The needs comes in the market, and end you have to achieve that as a success, right? It could be anything. It could be tangible or intangible. For example, taking this 1.5 hours or 2 hours of class itself a project. There are a lot of components behind this. We have to plan it 3 days before. We have to create all our components. We have to create the detailed slides. We have to invite you, and we have to make all the license factors. A lot are there. right? And until we complete the program for next 45 minutes, project is running on. So we have to watch out a lot of factors, right? So what happens is in project management, if people who've seen the book, or at least who are just new to PMP, there is 5 process groups like initiation, you have planning, you have executing, you have monitor and control, you have close. What it means, there is a start for a project, there is an end for a project. Between start and end, there is a portion, and that portion is planning, executing, and monitor and controlling, right? That's a very simple English words. These English words I no need to explain, it is self-explanatory, right? Now, let's see the components for integration management. Under integration management, we know that we start with a charter. Any project will start with a charter. I used to give this example most of the time. There are a couple of guys. One is the sales team in the market. One is the customer in the market. Both of them on some term agree that, yes, we want this work to be done. When they agree, that becomes an SOW. What is SOW? SOW stands for Statement of Work. It's a legal document between customer and the performing organization. One they say a requesting organization, one is a performing organization. Somebody is asking, I want this, somebody says, I will give you. When both of them put a signature, that's called SOW. When the SOW is done, from SOW, we will derive a document, and that document is called charter. Okay. From the charter, we start, we're going to do the plan, we are going to do execution as per the plan, and we're going to monitor it. Are we doing as per the plan? And then we close the project, right? That's what we're going to do. So let's see one by one what it does. Let me start with charter. Charter is a beginning stage of the project. It gives an high view of what actually the customer is looking for. In a project, you will have multiple times you create a charter. Why? If example in Mumbai or a Bangalore, a metro construction is work going on, a metro construction will have 4 or 5 phases of project, right? Phase 1, there will be a charter. Once you complete it, phase 2, another charter. When the phase 2 is happening, parallelly, phase 3 can start. For that also, there will be a charter. But if you're doing a small project at your home, a birthday celebration is happening, one charter is enough. What is a charter? A birthday party should happen on March 28th, Sunday evening, this timeline. That's it. Who all will come? I'm expecting 25 people coming there. What is a budget? The approximate budget is maybe 75,000 or 1 lakh Indian rupee. This is how they give a high level. But when you do deep analysis on that, you get more clarity. But far level, it will be a very high level information. Okay, there is a point here from OnePlus, maybe I can know your name. I may be wrong. Business case is source of project charter. SOW is out of scope management plan. Okay, yes, what you're saying is little contra. SOW signed, after that only work will start. Without SOW will not start. On part of SOW, business case discussion will happen. SOW is a legal document which says that let's do business. But a company will not sign SOW just like that. Before that, they do a business case analysis. Is this business beneficial? Will I earn money out of it? Will I get a tangible, intangible benefit? This analysis happens, and the results also will be taken into consideration, and they sign an SOW. Now, coming to scope management plan, that's a totally different track. Let's read that book, we'll get some more clarity, right? That's a different track. Let me not go there. For information, you have to read scope management plan. Okay, thanks for the point. Let me go a little more deep. Okay, develop charter. As I was saying that charter, how it happens at a high level. If you see the lines from the PMP PMBOK book, I've taken from this PMBOK book, charter is a process of developing a document that formally authorizes the existence of a project, right? And provides a project manager the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Each activities, you can start using the organizational resources. And I'll tell you, this is a very vital part. But again, this is not a legal document. It's a document which is between you and your organization. If you watch out here, you get an authority to use organizational resources. Organizational resource can be human, material, equipment, To acquire and use that, you need an authority. What is an authority? The charter will give an authority. Now, the charter, who prepares it? Sometimes the sponsors can involve in the charter. Sometimes your PMO will involve. Sometimes the senior management will involve. Can happen. When the SOW is getting ready, right, a statement of work or agreement is getting ready, it's an external document which is being shared within performing organization and requesting organization. When this happens, parallelly, they start working out on the charter part to kickstart. An SOW can have more than one charter, right? An SOW says that we want a commercial complex and a special economic zone. That's a SOW. Under that, I have to prepare one chapter for commercial complex, one charter for your residential complex, one for maybe hospital or living space. So an SOW can extend more than one charters. An SOW can give more information. SOW is always a high level of information which has project details and some of the stakeholders, some of the risk which can happen in the project, right? That can happen. Anyway, that's the information which get out of SOW. Charter is a kickstart for your team to work on or for you to use the organizational resources. Now, what all can be inside the charter? If you see the charter, it tells what's the purpose of the project. You'll get some idea about it, right? And again, you have to note down, charter will always have a high level information. It will not drill down. It will have only a high level of information. If you watch out, they'll have a high level of requirement. What is a high level of requirement? We are looking for a special economic zone, which will have a commercial and residential complex. That can be a charter, or it can be a little more detailed, not more than that. At least it'll be 2 pages or 3 pages or even 1 page, which has the information. But they have an annexed document to that charter where you can go and refer for it. As per the PMP books, they say that the charter will consist of overall project risk, summary, some of the pre-approved financial resources, and some more information are there. So charter means a high level of document. By the way, how does charter look like? Have I seen it? Your company should have it. You should have seen it. If you're not seen it, a charter may look like this. If you watch out here, a charter may look like this. I just pulled out from some example. It doesn't need to be the same way all the content, but a basic high level information. What is a project date? What is a project title? And who can be a project manager? Who is a sponsor for the project? A basic information of business needs, right? A basic information of needs. What is the need of this, right? And scope of the project at the higher level. Some of the expected deliverables, assumptions, risk, money factor, right? Some of the milestones, some of the completion dates and project teams, some factors. Not all needed to be there, but a charter is a formally authorized the project, formally authorized or not a legal document. Most of the content what you see here will be derived from business case documents, can be derived from SOW, statement of work, right? From there you derive all this information for your charter creation. Generally, a manager may not involve in creation of the charter because it can be done by the portfolio manager, program manager, sponsor. Sometimes you can also involve as a manager. A charter may look like this, right? Do anybody see the charter in your project before? Anybody have a clue of how the project look like? Okay, does it look almost same? Yeah, if you go to any market, this is how it will be. Maybe 1 page or 2 page of content will be there. But again, the charter is one area where we can relook at it to tell that, hey, what I'm doing there. And most of the time, projects, sometimes we get deviated off a big picture. So you have to get a big picture looking at this web charter, which will give an idea what they're intended to, right? Yeah, Sushant says that similar with a little more information. Yes, can be. Maybe a couple of pages will be there. Sometimes the raising matrix will be given. Some more risk details will be given. Some of the budget timeline will be given. Yeah, those factors can be there. BSR. Okay, that's good, Vaibhav. Thanks for sharing. Okay, good. I will take to the next stage. By the way, I'm just giving a highlight for you to brush up your knowledge because you guys already read the book. To do that, I just want to pull up a question to make you to understand. Okay, there is a question. Just read the question. By the way, we are working on integration management. I have made some common questions and posted here and there. Through question, we'll try to learn some subject, right? Rather reading only theory. Which of these is not an input to develop project charter? Which of this cannot be an input? A lot of answers coming faster, man. Oh God, Saturday, you guys are so much active. I think we have to conduct session this time, man. Okay, that's great. As majority goes, but some people have given different answers also. Let me look at some answers are coming. See there. Okay, let's understand the question first. The question is looking which of the is not an input. They're saying not. It means there is something which is wrong. Rest all could be correct. Okay, to develop a charter. I was giving an example. Let's say there is an SOW, there is an agreement, can be a business case. These all can become an input to a charter to start the work. Once a charter is ready, then you will start working on project plans, right? So if you see the order, this is a stage 1, and this is stage 2, and this is stage 3. I'm just giving stages on myself. If you want to understand this, first of all, you should have an agreement in place. First of all, you should have some of the basic information. Then only a charter can start. Only when the charter is ready, you can go for the planning. The project management plan is the master plan of the whole system. So you cannot get the master plan just like that, right? So what will happen is an agreement, which I said, agreement can be SLA, can be SOW, can be MOU, some of the agreements, whatever you name it, right? I generally code it as SOW, but agreement is a common concept. So now business documents. Business documents can be a business case, is it doable, non-doable, feasibility study, all would have happened. Enterprise environmental factors. People who are reading PMP books, you know what it is. If not, it has an English word, very clearly understandable, environmental factors. What are the environmental factors to start this project? If you and me want to sign a contract to start a new movie, a movie is going to be of 1 million contract. What are the inputs you need? You will take an input of business case. Business case says that don't do the business now, there is a trouble. Agreement can be signed, and again, you'll watch out the environmental factors. Environment is so bad, none of the industry can flourish now. Next 3 months, all shut down, right? Now, these 3 are inputs which can help you whether to do a charter or not do a charter. Whereas after the charter is ready, then only the planning can happen, right? I saw most of you made the right answers. Good choice there. Let's look at is the output to the inputs. Divya is saying EF, it is the output to the inputs. Sorry, Divya, I think you missed some word there. EF is can be taken as an input to understand what are the environmental factors which can impact your project. I believe that's what you are trying to say. If you missed some word there. Okay, great. Let's move one more. And I think I have an answer for it with the explanation. Here it goes. Just take a read of the sentence for explanation about this question. Is created the develop project management plan, which happens after charter, right? That's the sense. When the charter is ready, then we need to go for the plan. If not, you're not going to go for the plan. Since many answered correctly, we don't need more explanation here. Yeah, Sushant says EEF and OP are mostly inputs. Okay, if Divya is asking, is it input or output question? I will clarify both of you now. EEF means enterprise environmental factors, which is the process, policies, procedures, and again, some of the external factors which can influence your project, which you don't have any control on that. That has a control on you. I don't need to give any example. You know what's happening in the market now. For example, James Bond new movie to be released. What's the movie? No Time to Die. Amazing movie name at the right time. Okay. No Time to Die. I think that's a movie name. The movie got postponed to November 2020. Pushed up, right? It's an enterprise. It's an enterprise environmental factors. The environmental factors will delay or add budget to your project. right? Which you don't have any control. Data has any control on you. OPA, organizational process assets, which is your internal policies, procedures, rules, and also lessons learned, which you have influence over it, which can also help your project growth, right? Both can happen. Now, this EEF and OPA, at some time it can be input, at some time it can be an output. Why? Because you will update some information in that document, which can be used for next upcoming releases or next processes, right? Who will give you a detail for that? If you say EEF and OPA, someone has to fill the data, right? So it can be input, it can be output also, both mix of it. Right, okay, Ravi, that's right, releasing on November, very good. So 1+, for service industry, agreement is input to start the project for the owner industry. Agreement is issued to the third party upon the start of project. Okay, I'll try to understand your sentence. For service industry, okay, agreement is input to start the project. Yes, any industry agreement is input to start a project. For the owner industry, agreement is for owner. For the owner, the industry agreement is used to third party upon start of it. By the way, sorry, I think you want to miss some of the comma, full stop. It got confusing me. But again, I can understand that you're talking about the agreements. It may be service industry or maybe any industry. Agreement is very common. An agreement is nothing but a mutual deal. It's something like both of people getting married. They put a marriage agreement telling that we are married, right? It's an agreement is a connection which authorizes legally to continue the business. Okay. Now, out of this agreement, I can see from the last sentence, third party upon. What third party? In my project, I cannot do everything on my own. So what I do, I'll invite some third party to do the work. For that, I'll give subcontract. If you're talking about that, it's subcontract. So agreement is agreement internationally. So that's a term. Anyway, thanks for that. Maybe you're typing from the mobile. I feel difficulty with you. Okay, good. Let's go to one more question. There's one more question which talks about a project is flagged by requested changes. Changes are flowing into the charter. They're asking to change a charter. Now look at the sentence and tell me which is the right question or answer. Okay, mix of answer coming up. A, C, D. Mix of answer coming up. Okay. Okay, let's see the mix of answers here. Actually, the question goes to the second sentence. Who the primary responsibility to decide if these changes are necessary? Now, what happened is they're giving their primary responsibility. There is someone who can take a responsibility, and this is a charter, not on the project scope. Watchful, this is on project charter. Now, project charter is being prepared by whom? Who has a more power in this list of people who can control a charter? If you see that, then you'll get an answer. Yes, Ravi put it rightly. Sponsor has more control on the charter as things are moving forward, right? Whereas when the project work started, it will become the project managers, right? So charter is something on this side. Good, I can see some of them made a right answer. Let's see the answer here. Read the justification given in the question and the answer. The sponsor issues a project charter, so they should help the project manager control changes to the charter. The primary responsibility lies with the sponsor. Now, if a charter keeps changing multiple times, what will happen to the project? Will the project go smoothly or it will derail? The project will face a lot of problems if a charter keeps changing, because charter is a high level of definition and it will be a big trouble. For example, I'm telling that, hey, let's go to the movie this evening, 5 o'clock. It's a charter. But again, on the way, I'm telling that, no movie, man, let's go to first a hotel. Okay. I tell you, we go on the way to hotel, I'm saying, no hotel, man, let's go to some place, park and come back. You keep changing your charter and keep changing the big definition, right? And you will not see what to happen and what end result will not be achieved. It will keep on deviating, right? That's about this stuff. So sponsor has more authority. That's why they say primary. Good there. Thanks for the answers. Let's see something more on the next page. Okay, let me go a little more. Now I'm going to talk about develop project management plan. right? And by the way, as I mentioned, I'm just giving a high view to make you understand what is project all about. Now, I just pulled the chart again to show you what I'm going to see. What you saw so far is a charter. Charter, as I said, is a higher level information to do the work. When the charter comes in, you can, along with your team, start working on the plan. Under this plan, we have 9 plans. If you remember or read the books or listened to my classes, you would observe there are triple constraints, right? Scope management plan, schedule management plan, cost plan, quality, it goes on, right? All these plans happen here. And this is a place you create your WBS. This is a place you have a schedule management stuff. You have a costing factor. You will have a risk mitigation plan. Everything is there. Everything goes under this particular place called as project management plan. Now the question is, Shriram, do I need to do all the planning, then only my team will start the work? I will tell no. When you are ready with the part of the plan, you can ask your team to start the work, because we are living in a world where the team can work parallelly as you work out on your planning factor. It can be adaptive nature or it can be predictive nature, right? That's how it is. Okay, there is a question here. Satya is asking, once we complete developing project management plan, do we need to get stakeholders sign off? Okay, that's a good question, Satya. I think when you listen to the classes furthermore deep, we will talk different areas. When I say different areas, here we talk about the scope management plan, right? Scope management plan will become a scope baseline. There we get a signature from the customer to proceed on the work. Same way, the schedule management plan, we get a schedule baseline and you get a cost baseline. We get a triple constraint, and this will be discussed with the customer and we get a sign off. And this sign off will help you to proceed on your work, right? It can be predictive nature of project or adaptive nature of project. We get certain things clear and clarified, mutually agreed. What do you mean by mutually agreed? Both of us say that, okay, this is what the requirement you want, this is what I will deliver it. So that happens on each level. But project management plan is a collection of all the plans. I don't think you have to carry that to get a signature. Maybe you'll go for that triple consent part. Hope that clarifies you, Satya. Kevin is asking, do we need to complete all the subsidiary plans to obtain the project management plan? In a way, you will not able to complete it on the initial day of your project. It will take longer time as you have to work step by step, you get the information. For certain areas, for example, if you start about the procurement management plan, one of the plan in the DPM, initial stage of your project, you may not have a full clarity what kind of procurement and subcontract you can do, right? That you can't do. So whereas if you proceed a little more deep inside, you will get those details, right? That's how it is. So it's not mandatory that you have to do all, then only you will move on. You'll keep parallel working with your team to do some development on another area. Okay, I think questions are pouring out. I can see one more question coming up. Kevin, I think Kevin, I spoke about it. Divya is asking, from IT infrastructure point of view, does design fall in planning phase, like high level and low level design? Divya, it may be IT infrastructure, construction, software, medical, birthday party. If you see a project which has a good start timeline and end timeline, and it has a specific goal, specific milestones to be achieved, that's a project, right? For that project, if you have a plan to design, if you have a plan to make a proper planning, yes, it should be part of it. There is no question what kind of domain it is. You have to understand, is it first of all a project? It is having a milestone. It is having a systematic approach expected there. If it is, yes, we have to go for it. So when you say design fall in planning phase, like high level, low level, yeah, designing should be part of your planning stage, right? Without designing how you'll start your work, you cannot. So design should be part of your planning phase. Hope you got that. But design will be keep reviewing and continuously upgrading. Great there. Okay, one more question before I go to the next concept. Okay, 1+, there's a question. Project management plan has a high level management schedule with milestone, that is L1. Okay, is it a message? Is it a question? Sorry, I couldn't get you. One project management plan has a high level management schedule with milestone, that is L1. Okay, I'll take it as a message from you. Thanks for that. By the way, there is no high level, low level. There is always need basis on the requirement, the scheduling will happen. We have something called scope management plan. where we have WBS, work breakdown structure. Based on that, the scheduling activity will work. If it is an agile oriented project, they have a release planning, they'll have a sprint planning, they'll make a specific planning and start working on it. Okay, I think you got it. Anyway, thanks for the information. Good there. A lot of questions coming up, and I can see that from the questions, there are a little more reading from all members are expected, or a little more clarity on certain areas needed. Let's go a little more understand about the develop project management plan. Okay, develop project management plan. What we do here? Develop plan is a process of, if you read this line from the PMP books, defining, preparing, and coordinating all plan components. Defining, preparing, and coordinating all plan components, right? Putting together. Why you have to put together? The key benefit of the process is that it's going to be helping you production of a comprehensive document. Now the question is, do I need to sit and do all these documents? Is it going to be consuming 2 months to do this document? No, it's not like that. They're talking about the tailoring factor when you go to PMP books. It's something like on a need basis, you'll start doing it. But what are the things which will make your project to move forward? Those things to be considered. For example, WBS, a work breakdown structure, a product backlog, a program backlog, a release planning, cost management related details, right? The EVM, earned value management, what we're going to do. These are certain things which need to be documented, without which if you move forward, you will be in trouble. But again, this is a consolidated component of all the activities. If you watch out this blue color box, is developed in the process of documenting all actions needed to do, right? What all? Define, prepare, integrate, coordinate all subsidiary plans. There are a lot of subsidiary plans which I'll discuss in coming classes going forward weeks. For now, understand that there are a lot of more plans, as I said, which need to be understood. Primary source of data for how project is plan executed. If you understand the project, you will see from the project management plan, PMP plan, you can understand what is the plan, how it's going to be executed, how the monitoring will happen, how it will be closed. Imagine tomorrow you join a new company and that company is running with some project. You don't know where to start your work. You can ask them, can you share me the project management plan? And I don't think most companies have it as one document. It will be split off or a collection of information. If you can get the collection of information, start analyzing it, you will get a clue what they mean by project management plan. But again, I generally call it as a mother document or a master document, which has information of all the details in the project. And the next question comes, Shriram, do I need to do all these things, then only let's go to the next stage? No, it's a progressive elaboration. It's a continuous activity from the day one till the last day of the project. We'll keep on doing things, right? That's how we work. Right, that makes a little more clarity there. Let's get one more integration question to see how you observe. Just go through the question, see if you can answer. Too much of sunlight, hold on. Okay, there it goes. What's the question? You are in the project selection committee, great. You're reviewing the document, discuss the strategic value of a potential project and its benefits to the company. What's this document called? They're talking about benefit, potential benefit, and something good, right? So I'm sure most of you will answer it correctly. Let me see. Okay, a lot of answers coming up. Wow, not even one wrong answer, all are right answers. Okay, I can see one missed out there, a couple of them missed out there, that's okay. So business case is a right answer. Why? Because we're talking about the potential project and its benefit, okay? See, you are in the project selection committee. Before even you sign your SOW, statement of work, the case analysis will happen. Will this give benefit to the organization? Is this aligning with our portfolio strategy? Is this going to show something progress in our company's growth pattern? They will do a lot of analysis on that and then they sign for it. For that, they even go for a prototype. Sometimes your senior management will reach out to you, hey Shriram, with your team, can you come up with a prototype in next 2 weeks? You will ask why it is. Hey, We are just demoing to a customer. If the customer likes, we will win this project. I think I heard multiple times like this. You too would have heard about it. So that's a prototype will do that. So these all analysis will happen before you sign a project. Let's see some stuff here. Okay, answer goes to B. I saw 98% answer correctly. Thanks for that. This is a business case. It describes the benefit of doing a project and can be used to decide whether it's worth it for the company or not. It's simple, right? It's worth or not that we do. Great there. And let me go to the next stage to make you understand. Okay, one more round. By the way, I'm talking at 10,000 feet high because it's only a revision class. I don't want to go line by line. If you go our regular classes, we take one subject for 2.5 hours where you go depth line by line, right? It's just giving a heads up to make you feel warm and you can start reading for your exams. Okay, let's go to the direct and managed project work, right? The next stage where the real work happens. You can see this picture here. There's like a helmet there, right? The actual working place, the people going to work. When you say people working to work, doesn't mean you give the work to the team and you go to home, feel that I'm a manager, I'm done with my part. No, it's going to be a collective effort. We're going to work together. How are you going to do? When you see the direct and managed project work from the PMP books, the process of leading and performing work defined. Very simple English sentence, right? Process of leading and performing the work defined. Where it is defined, the previous process, we defined it in the planning stage, what work need to be done and that work which you are going to do. I specifically put this image because in music orchestra, there is a person in the center who is called as conductor who conducts a program, who takes ups and downs with the music and make the program to move forward, right? And that's the vital role. But again, this is the highest area where we burn a lot of resources. Do anybody remember the number, the percentage of effort utilized as per the PMP in this area, in the execution area? Do anybody remember it? In execution, we have some percentage. It says that this much of percentage we burn in this area. Ooh, many of you guys remember, man. Thanks, great. 31% of our effort goes in execution. I think most of you agree. We spend most of the time in execution, right? For example, for these classes, planning happened at least 2 days before. A lot of things are happening. More than that, the way the program started, the program running, here the level of effort is very high, right? It's not only me. We have more than number of people join the call. You're putting your time, your energy, your internet facility, your power supply, myself, team behind. It's all happening. Lot factors are there behind the screen. So direct and managed project work is a very important area. Of course, I'm talking very high level, but actually it gives two beautiful output. One is a deliverable, other one is work performance data. I'll tell you, if you read the book properly on this chapter alone, you will understand the whole core principle of how the project management works. It's very interesting area. Right, that's little much. I will tell you a little more here. In direct and managed project work, one important output is called work performance and data. The data is the lifeblood of your project. What do you mean by lifeblood? It helps you to understand how your project is progressing. It's not only your deliverable decides your project. You should know where your project stands, where it will go. Only when you know where it stands, you can forecast certain things, right? That's a message here. Anyway, that's good about it. I know some of you know very well about work performance data. Can someone tell me after work performance data, what is the next maturity level? Let's see. I know some people have read the book in and out. After work performance data, what is the next stage? Please, experts, come out. Work performance information. That's great. That's a maturity level 2. After work performance information, what is the next level? Then KPI. Okay, people are going faster, man. Cool, guys. Oh my God, many of you are ready for PMP exam. I am sure the moment online exam opens, you all will click exam overnight. Okay, great. Work performance data, work performance information, work performance report. 3 things happens there. Amazing, guys. You guys are rocking. Good. Good there. I can see your involvement there. Okay, there's one small question. I know it's not a small question, but give a try. Read through this. Let's see how it works for you. Okay. Cool. Fantastic. A lot of good answers coming up. Okay, let's understand the core thing in the question. What's a keyword in the question? The question is asking, you are managing a software project when you find out that a programming team whom you are supposed to have access has been reassigned to another project. Okay, you lost it. What is the first thing you should do? Something happened which is not really a pleasant situation. With this, first thing to do, so if I'm in your place in a PMP exam, I will see this as a keyword. What is the first thing you do? You, when I say you, I always tell that in examination, watch out, is this question asking for the project manager or it is asking the project? Now out of these two, they're asking the project manager, right? If they ask about the project, I will see my answers in a different perspective. When they ask about the you, I will see, is there any answer pointing to the manager? And also I see the first thing to do, right? So that gives me a clue. So very good. I can see Anu give a right answer there. I mean, a keyword. Fantastic. Great. Most of you made the right keyword, and the answer goes to A. Figure out the impact that will happen, right? You have to do the impact analysis. When I'm losing a resource, what I'm going to do? Find out the impact that will have on your project. That's very vital, right? Impact analysis is very important. Other things are important, yes it is, but first the thing focus goes here. I'm not saying others are not important, right? Go to your sponsor and demand to the team. I think this can be a least option where I don't go to the sponsor immediately. My sponsor also don't like it. My sponsor will say, well, man, well, then why I employed as a manager? Every time you come to me and ask something, come on guys, then why I put you? Find a solution, man. You have to find a solution, or tell me at least the impact, what's going to be there. Then at least I'll get a view of what I have to do, right? That's a question goes out. Okay, good there. I can see some of you made the right answers. Great there, appreciate it. Anyway, this is all just to pull you. By the way, this is not a great question in the world, but again, just make you to feel, okay, you're learning something. Okay, you are progressing well and your observation is really good. Let's go another 15 minutes to rock it. The few more stuff which is on manage project knowledge, which was introduced with PMBOK 6th edition. The word is a very clear, manage project knowledge. What happened here? In the project, there are knowledge flowing in and out. It's always advisable, look out some of the best learning out of your project, which will help you to progress well, right? And there is a wrong assumption in the market. Whenever I say knowledge, they think that documentation. I said, no. Nobody said knowledge means only documentation. And documented thing nobody reads. To be very honest, I've seen many people come to a company, they join, they first ask me, Shriram, is there any document about the project? Is there any architecture diagram? Is there any flow diagram? High level, low level, middle level design? We will share everything to this guy. 1 week later, we'll come for the meeting. We'll ask him, can you explain something on that? I read it, but I cannot understand what that writer is saying there. I read it, nobody understands out of it. Rather, they sit with the actual resources if they're available in the company, or understand with the project happening there, live discussions, meetings will really help a lot to learn with supporting documents. Documents alone will not help. Those days have gone, right? Now it is something you have to practically work, practically be with the team, right? They call tacit knowledge, they call in agile, they have an agile environment where you sit and talk to the team, understand what's happening, listen to the calls, go walk through the projects and see what's happening. That's a learning part. And they never said no documentation. Documentation is there, but limited. Don't be too much into that, because the person who written, the person who's going to interpret it, it's different. So always it's good to share knowledge with the team and resources, and that's really, really going to help it, right? That's very important. If you read the last sentence here, from an organizational perspective, knowledge management is about making sure skills, experience, and expertise of the project team and other stakeholders are used before, during, after the project. They never said about documentation here. They're saying that the skills, experience, expertise, yeah. Lessons learned and repository of information, these are vital. You can get from your PMOs. Apart from that, learning the expertise skills from the team and people around you, really, really going to help you, right? That's very important. So lessons learned is a very important area which you have to watch out, right? Okay, good there. Let's move to the question, something here. Okay, one question for you to understand something on integration management. Just go through this question. Meantime, I see some message there from Krishnamurti. First thing is finding the impact of project. What will be the next thing to be taken as a manager? That's a great question, Krishna. So what will happen is after doing impact analysis, we will see if it is going to have a great impact on schedule, cost, or scope of it. If so, we have to relook some of the agreed baselines, right? It may be impact on it. If no impact on it, we'll go start procuring the resource if you want, take it up. If not, if it's going to have a big impact on your project, we have to communicate to the sponsors, key people, and make alignment accordingly, right? That's going to happen. Okay, good there. Getting back on the question, you're holding a formal approved document that defines how the project is executed and monitored. Okay, yeah, this covers all, right? So the question, let's go by elimination technique. Some of the exam questions, how to attend is, once you understood, they're asking for some document which covers all the factors. When they say all the factors, WBS will not cover, because WBS will talk only the components of the work what to be done. Charter, which has only the high level of information, that also will not get covered, right? Then performance measurement baseline, this is nothing but a metrics or measurement baseline of a scope baseline, schedule baseline, cost baseline, not beyond that. So I can't go for this. Whereas I can go for project management plan, which is going to have all the details of how it's executed, monitored, controlled, right? So if you do the elimination technique, you would get the right answer. That sounds good. Let me see the answers. Oh my God, you all are answering well, man. That's good. Great, good there. By the way, these questions are just an indication of your knowledge. That's it. Okay. By the way, I'm not telling this is how the PMP exam question will be. PMP exam can be different. It will be lighter than this, heavier than this, but I can just to pull your knowledge. That's it. Okay, let's see one more factor of project management flow. There is a place which we call as a monitor and control. By the way, you all are proceeding really well, answering well. We have two more areas to cover up and close for the day. So what are the two more areas? Sorry, three more areas. So I have to talk about monitor and control. I will talk about integration, change control, integrated change control, and closing. We'll talk about the stuffs quicker. Right, what I have here. So I have something interesting for you. This is monitoring area. The monitoring area is the area which you become a policing factor. You keep a watch if things are going good. If you keep a watch, what do you mean? The process of tracking, reviewing, and reporting the overall progress is easy to say, hard to do. Why hard to do? If you don't have a proper data tracking with you, it's so hard to compare. See, in monitoring control, what we do is we take the plan and we take the actual data as per today and we compare it. If things are going good, happy and good. If not good, start predicting and making some adjustments, right? That's how it is. If I'm driving to my home in my car, I'm late by 20 minutes. How do I know I'm late by 20 minutes? I thought to reach by 8 o'clock, but I am already running 30 minutes late, right? So now my way of action will change. Maybe I'll accelerate the speed or pick up the phone and tell to my mom, I'm coming 30 minutes late. Something I'm doing, right? So for that, I should know the plan. I should know the actual, compare it, and start preparing information out of it, right? So you see here, this guy talks about understand the current state of the project to recognize the action taken to address any performance issues. It's a very simple layman English language. He says that understand the current state of the project to recognize the actions taken to address any performance issues. What to do? What is next, right? But again, monitor and control is one of the key responsibility of the manager to keep a watch how things are progressing. And this is a place we have SPI, Schedule Performance Index, CPI, Cost Performance Index. We look out risk mitigation strategies, how things are working out, right? It's a very interesting area. It's one of the area in integration management. That's good. Fine, good. I have a question for you to see how much we are able to answer here. Let's take a look of it. You are a project manager. Very good. Starting a new project. warns you that the previous project ran into trouble, okay, which is the following would you best for you to rely on to help plan your project. Whenever you see a best, it means all are correct. Only one should be the best one. Which of the following would be best for you to rely on to help plan your project? There are some keywords here. Okay, the answers started coming up. Historical info, oh, that's answer many people answering. Okay, someone can tell me what's a keyword in the question which makes you to go to the answer B? As many are saying B, let's listen to your keyword also. That's an answer. In the question, what's the keyword? Best. One more keyword is there. I know some of you are giving right keywords, but I'm seeing one more keyword. Okay. Okay, most of you made the right keywords, but one thing you have to see here, you are a project manager starting a new project. It's a wonderful keyword. New project. Obviously, new project, your eye should go here. Right? Fantastic. Of course, I'm not denying whatever others said. It's perfectly good. But I feel new project is amazing keyword, right? The moment you get that, you feel, wow, that's a keyword, man. This guy's a new project. I'm saying there's a trouble. Of course, I'll go and see the lessons learned. Hey, what happened, man? Please tell me how it failed. Let me not do that mistake. Fantastic. Great there. Many of you made the right answers. I appreciate it. Okay, there is explanation. Information is an important input to develop a charter, which will also be the information, right? Good there. Let me go to the next area, integrated change control. It's one of the interesting area. Many would have seen it. It's an area where the change control system works. Let's see that. By the way, there's beautiful ladies changing the car tire. Nothing but change control is happening, right? When the project is running on, changes can come from any direction, from any form. But how do you treat the changes? That's very important, right? So if you say change control is a process of reviewing all the change requests. Mark the word, all the change requests. You're not blindly telling that, hey, I agree this, I won't agree this. No, first we'll look at it. I want to see what kind of change it is and what's the impact it's going to bring. Process of reviewing all request changes and its impact on the project. Now you can question me, Shriram, why we need to see the impact, man? We have to, because it's going to hit your time of the project. It's going to hit your cost line. It's going to bring new risk to the project. New stakeholder getting added. Some other thing will keep coming up. You have to see it's a preventive action, or you have to go for something which you have to fix it up. You keep watching out, right? Changes can be good or bad, both can be there, but keep a watch, right? And this part of change, most of the time control bees with the sponsors, senior managers, your manager, core engineers, experts in the team. A board will be there. The board is called as CCB. I'm not sure how many of you heard about it. Can someone tell me what is CCB? What is CCB? Anybody know what is CCB? Perfect. Change Control Board. Perfect. Many of you made the answer correctly there. Fantastic. Great. Thanks, guys. You all know well. Change Control Board. And this Change Control Board will have a collection of people. You may be part of the team, and you will have a sponsor. You will have an SME. You will have a core engineer. All you guys will decide whether this change is good or bad. If it's bad, reject it now with a specific reason. If it's good, tell why you're accepting it, right? And you do all the impact analysis on all the plans, specifically on the triple constraint, scope, schedule, cost. You keep an eye on it, what's going to happen. Because it's a triple constraint which you and the customer agreed upon, right? That's a deal. Okay, that's integrated change control. That's going to be really useful. That's a very small question. Let's see whether you can read and answer back. Give it a try. Perfect, Ajay. I agree. That's right. I know it's a small question. Give it a try. Okay, somebody started answering already. Yeah, answers started coming up. Ooh. Can someone tell me the key D word, why you guys are going for the answer C? What made you to think that C can be the answer? Actually, the question starts from third statement. Two stakeholders just approached you to tell you that they have an important change that needs to be made. I agree. Okay. That change will put you behind schedule. What do? Just approach. Ah, okay. Sounds good. That's good. I think they just got that word there. Just approach, right? I'm getting answers mixed up here. Some saying C, some D, some B. Right. I will see. Actually, the C is a right answer. Refuse to make the change until the stakeholder documented and in change request document, right? But again, the verbal discussion can start. They're not saying no, but somewhere you have to count it, right? If not, how do you track it out? It's going to be very hard for you. Refuse to make change because the stakeholder did not take it to the change control. I'm not saying refuse it. It's a little harsh. Tell guys, okay, I'll do it, man, but come to the proper channel, right? That will help them. And somebody said D, make sure the stakeholder knows that you are open to change and tell them to talk to the project sponsor. I don't know whether you have to involve the sponsor here. It's us, right? Manager, we have to do that. Something beyond your control, a big level of thing, chances are that you can bring your sponsors, right? But if not, I think this area we should be able to handle. But sometimes it can be a sponsor asking for the change. Can be, right? It can be a mix of things. So D and B may not be the right choice because of certain terms, what I said. C goes right choice here, right? Right, that's good. Right, good. Viper, I think you're talking about C for the answer. Okay, Prashant is saying something that all change requests will need to be requested via form as approved change request gets added to baseline. Okay, fine, Prashant. Okay, I'm getting a lot of information here. Fine, good. For this question, yes, I go with the word saying that just approached. So it's good to tell them that, guys, go ahead, write a change request, come back, we'll do this, right? Verbally, I've listened to you. I'm happy to listen, but let's go, right? That's how it is. Okay, Ajay, the answer goes to C, refuse to make the change until the stakeholder comes with the proper change request, right? That's how it is. That's great. Let's hit the last stage here. By the way, just read the explanation also. You will get some clarity. So the explanation says the first step is handling any changes to document it. That's why change requests are an input to perform a change control. Process cannot begin until the change is written down. Good. By the way, I'm shooting already 5 minutes extra. I will take another 5 to 6 minutes to close up this content. Let's complete the close project. Closed project is the last stage here. Oh, great. Look at this cartoon. Looks great, right? I finished the project on time and on budget. Amazing. Next time, I'll give you a project, less time, less money. Okay. Fun about closing is a big process. I've seen many people scoring low in closed project and PMP exams. Why? Because they take it for granted. Okay, it's only 7% in exam, 14 questions. So I will read on the last day, right? Also, many of us would not involve in closing of the project. To be honest, many of us would not involve the full cycle of the project. So what will happen is you may not know what is a closing factor. So close has a lot of things there. If it's a phase closure, project closure, contract closure, abrupt closure, wartime closure, coronavirus happened, now certain project get closed, a lot of terms and conditions. But how do you prepare the final report? How do you make a proper handshake and handout to the customer? How do you make all the deliverables closed up? If there is any financial term problems, how it's getting solved? It's in a happy scenario, customer accepted the product, then how you close it? There are a lot of terms about it. In the books, I can see only few pages. Google and read more content, because in exam, I'm seeing many people scoring low in closing area, but you will not fail because of close. Even if you need improvement in closing area, you will pass PMP, because close is considered as a last stage where not many involved. But again, close is very important as you do the final report of all what happened, where the startup project, what's the plan, how it happened, deliverable went inside, everything we explained in the close project. Right, that gives some clarity on the closing factor. Okay, see a question on the closing. Let's see how much you're aware of closing. You have just verified that all of the work on your project is completed, and then they're asking which of these things is not part of closing process. Something is not part of closing. Okay, I'm getting a mix of answers now. C is coming up, D is coming up. Okay, let's see what are the part of project. Update historical information by documenting lessons learned. Of course, we have to do that. Document the work performance data to show the deliverables that have been completed and recorded the lessons learned. I slightly doubt here because work performance data is part of execution, right? If you learn the PMP books, it's part of execution. So I doubt this area. Let's hold on. Let's go to the next one. Verify that all the deliverables have been accepted by the stakeholder. Obviously, we have to do that. So A and C, obvious. D, follow the project closure procedure. Okay, that also looks good. So A, C, D looks good by elimination technique, and also the word work performance data updation is not part of this area. It should be in the execution area. So the answer should go to B if I'm in your place, right? Because the question is asking which of these things is not. It's not. So it means what all there, we have to see A, C, and D, and B is eliminated, right? Yes, Ajay, you got it. Perfect, guys. Good. So that's pretty. I will just see the answer. Your answer is right. It's document as part of direct and managed project. Oh yeah, see, that's what they're saying there. So the message is something, it's something like it goes to data handling, so which can be part of closing. Okay, they just putting some question. Acceptance deliverables are part of validate scope, right? Accepted deliverables. Yeah, that's right. That's where we do UAT, right? They just Kevin is asking, already verified all work is completed, which means deliverables are accepted too. Can be accepted or can be abrupt closure also. Both the way it can be. So here the question says completed. Okay, it says completed and accepted. Yes, that's right, Kevin. You got it. Okay, good there. Fine. What's the learning here so far? I'll just go back quickly to show you what we learned. Just a recap of what we learned. Primarily, I want to show you the charter stuff. Okay. Okay, this is what I want to show you. You have a start of the project, you have a planning, you have execution, you have a closing, right? That's all there. And again, you have a charter. Charter is the starting of the project. Then you do the planning. After planning or when the planning is happening, you make a team to work and you do the way of managing the knowledge, you monitor and control, and also you perform integrated change control. If you see this cycle, it's a big cycle. It goes on continuously. And if things goes well, you close up the project. I think we also got some idea what is the project and what the project manager role is. Yeah, we got some idea about it. Now that gives some idea. We learned around a few processes and integration management, which gives some clarity how the flow happens as it goes on. But again, it's a big chapter. What I've given here is only the heads up. You have to go through the books and learn things. But since it's being a revision session, I'm trying to brush up some content for you, right? So if you do all the stuff, you're ready to launch a rocket with such a big project like this, right? That's good. Okay, thanks for joining here. But at the same time, any questions here? Maybe I can help for next 5-6 minutes because I have to jump to another session. So I'll help you out for a few questions if you have anything there. By the way, anybody just started for your exam preparation, keep going. Don't wait that PMI will make another announcement of exam date and timelines. To your information, April, it's going to be online. So get ready, and it's a good way of clearing the examination, right? If anybody very new to the system, yes, reach out to the support team here. They'll help you on some of the subjects or classes information. That will be good for you. Right, open for the question. Yes, sir.
Hey, Shriram, this is Sushanta. I have one question regarding this perform integrated change control, right? Now, let us say you identify there is a change or any stakeholder puts one. Now, what do you do first? You do an impact analysis first, or you put it to CCB, and if they approve it, we do the impact analysis?
I think first you record in the document. That's what the question we saw, change request document. Then we do the ground analysis of what can be the impact on that. With the analysis report, we have to submit to the CCB. CCB is nothing but collection of team members who all you have, and that will help you to give the results. whether we have to proceed or we have to stop there. Right. That's
Okay.
how it is.
Okay. And once CCV approves, we update all the documents and move on from there.
Yes. Need basis. If it is needed, we update. If not needed, not approved, we stop there. Right. Right. That gives the answer. Shami is asking a question. Thanks, Sushant, for the question. In case of project termination, handing out operations is also to be done. When you say termination, I don't think we'll go to operations, Shami, because your project is not completed, right? Incompleted project may not go to operations, right? So you have to close that part also. In case you're done with that, your operation is ready to pick up, yes, you can do that. I don't think termination will have all the stuff. It will be done closed. Are we good? I will take 2 more questions before we say thanks for the day. Any other questions for the team members? By the way, how the session went on? Is it able to make you feel warm, getting back on track? Okay. Great, good there. Thanks, Satya. Thanks, Sushant. Thank people there. Anyway, good there. Thanks for joining. It was a good session to share knowledge. Soon we'll share one more session on another topic and another weekend. Let's use that timeline to materialize some learning in this lockdown